quest are you up for? Come back anytime.
Hey guys and girls, it's just going to be a short one today, showing one of the urgent quests that comes up.
Which quest are you up
and
for?
hopefully giving you a little insight into the middle to end game, shall we say. We're joining a little late, so hopefully we can get into one of them. It can be a bit of a pain sometimes, as you can see it
Come back anytime.
doesn't update in real time, shall we say.
Which quest are you up for?
So what you've got to do is kind of go through and look for one that you think you might be able to get.
Come back anytime.
It's not going well. It's not going well. Might be lucky.
Come back anytime.
Come on. These quests in themselves are definitely the easiest way to level up. Not sure if I already tried this guy. Aha! And we're in. I'm actually a little bit behind on the old Fantasy Star at the moment. I was hoping to be max level by now, just about to hit 60 instead. But to be fair, the characters coming along quite nicely. I'll show you a little bit of the build after this. And if you're struggling, I definitely recommend a few things that could help you quite a bit, I think. Right, these are definitely your friends, the old dimates and trimates. Pretty much always make sure I'm maxed out on them.
Your objective is to defeat a
And
bunch of Dark Falls
what I'd
Luther's
also
minions.
recommend would be these ones. A lot of people go for the PP
This is
one,
gonna be a
but
pretty
I
tough
find
fight. There's not much I can do to help, but I'm rooting for you.
the guts. Go for the guts one. That way it just gives you a little bit more chance of not getting one shot, shall we say. Because with this build, pretty much if you don't get one shot, you'll pretty much survive anything, as long as the encounter doesn't go on for a ridiculous amount of time. Right, hopefully this character's good, because usually we've got a lot more in there.
Emergency!
As far as I'm aware, I think this is the new encounter.
Emergency! Code due!
So we'll see how difficult this one is now. So jumping's definitely the way forward if he's got that move. So hopefully this build will hold up to this new boss battle. Like I said, I've not done this one before, so I don't know how hard it hits. I guess we'll find out in a second. Ooh, well, I've got my target on. Don't have any escape goals on me at the moment, I don't believe, so if I do get hit too hard, I'm going to be hoping to pick us up. Got a couple myself to return the favour. I'm not sure if he's got a few more stages to him or something, because he's not really done too much in there. I say, watch him get wiped. Alright, that's something though, he's taking no damage near enough. Pick them up. A lot of jumping up in here in this one. Like I was saying earlier, this will be a gaming channel. Be doing quite a few things and some funny pieced together movies as well, like game clips and such into a movie. Done one already for Warzone. If anyone fancies it, we'd love to have you join the community. I was playing a lot of Phantasy Star. I've started up Warhammer as well, Warhammer Martyr. That's pretty good. It's mainly all Xbox stuff for the moment. It wasn't really too difficult. I was expecting that to be a bit of a challenge actually. I think that's the updated one. I've not played that one before. Pretty much jump over the beams, to be fair. Right, so yeah, to be honest, what you'll want to do, make sure you've got enough of your dimates and trimates, as I was saying earlier. Unless you're unlucky, this build can take most things as long as you use a health up potion, the old guts drink. And then what you want to do is, if you're trying to boost your character as much as possible, pretty much just, sorry, what if I was going into the right stuff? Pretty much just go into your items and use all of your boosts that you've got available during all of these urgent missions. That's what I tend to find the best. So for example, what you would want to do now if you really wanted to would be just chuck on your tri boost. So use that, especially if it's got a drop you need. If it's got a drop you need, then chuck it on, because drops, from what I've seen in this game, drops are rare. They're really rare. You'll get a hell of a lot of drops, not necessarily the ones you're after. The ones you're after, like say the 13 stars of the categories you're after, they're rare. They're very hard to get hold of. I think, from what I've heard, the easiest way to do them is the subquests, the advanced ones. You do like the super hard version of those.
I'm rooting for you.
Then you can get a drop. But to be fair, by the time you've got that to drop, you probably could have earned enough from the setup to just kind of buy off the market. So it's kind of whatever way you want to do it as such. If you like getting the drops, then it's all well and good. But it's been with my luck, I tend to buy it most times, save up, buy it. That way you can kind of specify what you're after. So if you spent, say, 30 missions, you finally got one to drop and it had absolutely nothing on it that you needed, you kind of kick yourself a little bit. Oh, what else there? This guy doesn't have much in the way of ads, does it? So the only thing I've got me a assault rifle, but it is nowhere near as good as this one. So otherwise I would just single target it down with that. Let's have a little look. See if it's any good. No, nothing special. Yeah, I think this got to be a lot easier if I had a better assault rifle. Fortunately, I'm still waiting for that to come along at the moment. So we're going to have to stick to the grenade launcher, which, to be fair, is kind of my favourite gun in the game at the moment for the Ranger class. Really, really good. Absolutely massacres all the ads. Does good single damage to one enemy. And to be fair, it's hard to see when you're actually going to change over from it. I know that orbital strike on the assault rifle would definitely do more single target damage, and you've got a lot more manoeuvrability with the assault rifle. But overall, I think in most situations, especially if you're clearing stuff, you'll be picking this if you're a ranger. But you'll always want two. You'd never want to stick to just one weapon. Not if you've got the option for two. Right, I didn't even notice it come up that time. Looking like being in the air is definitely the way forward on this, because I'm not getting hit anywhere near as much as anyone else is. This is a very good move as well. I like calling it Fall of Death. I was going to sound out of Dragon Ball. What I'll do afterwards, I'll show you what I'm running at the moment, so you can see what build helps you get through certain activities. Especially with the Ranger class, what I tend to find is just being able to automate. As soon as you do that, it takes away from everything. You don't really even need to worry too much. I'm really hoping I don't look like I'm using just white matter. But most times you can get away with doing any content with this build. And like I said, I'm not even max level yet. Like my 59 should be coming up to 16. Well, speaking of which, there's 16. Yeah, see, they're dropping a different... I've not picked them up before. It's the same as the Dark Falls, but slight variant of it. It's interesting. Yeah, so if you're trying to boost, your best bet to do is do some dailies. And say, especially if you're, like, what is it, 50 I believe? As soon as you can do the really hard content, jump straight into that, because you're with everyone else anyway. Then jump into the urgent quests, put on a boost. Doesn't have to be a tri boost because obviously if you don't need the drops, but some kind of an experience boost. Sorry, excuse me. And then what you want to do is just run it as fast as possible. Obviously, don't wipe or anything, which you probably won't. Everyone tends to pick each other up. As long as you're not with a really bad group, you'll be fine. And after that, just try and level as much as possible during that time period. So run them as many times as you can. This one here doesn't look like it's the best for experience, I've got to admit. Best one I've seen so far is the ocean level. It's got so many ads, absolutely so many ads, and you get the PSE burst. That's what you want to watch out for. If you get the PSE burst, you can just absolutely massacre everything and your level just jumps up. Right, let's see if we can get anything else. Yeah, so over there on the right hand side is pretty much what you want to be looking for as well, to see if it's something you want to use a tri boost for as such. So if you don't need the weapons, and I think they change, yeah, so if you have a look, because we're running a super hard one, that's what you'll get over there. So it'll be the machine pistols and the sword, which unfortunately neither of, well actually the sword could be good for my second character. So then, like I said, don't tend to press accept quest, always go for search everywhere, that way you get more of an option. That one looks like we're fine. And then up the top it gives you the congestion limit, so if it's all the way maxed out to congestion, then you know that basically everyone is going to be doing that area, so it'll probably just kick you out.
Emergency. Detecting Dark Falls Luther's minions. Commencing large-scale eradication operation. All ARCS ops, report to the quest.
But yeah, unfortunately I'm in the UK, so I didn't have a chance to grab this as soon as it came out. I didn't know actually how to get it. I had to wait and have a little muck around with everything, and then I found out. That's why one of my videos is showing how to actually get it on UK really easy. Which was a pain, absolute pain. Didn't want to do any of the mucking around with the region settings. Don't like all that stuff.
Which quest are you up for?
Heard someone got locked out. Don't know if it's true or not, but it's enough to make me think twice about it. Yeah, so like I said, if you have a look at that congestion and the premium space, so if we click on that, I'm guessing we'll probably get kicked straight out. This dude's probably not going on added to him.
Come back anytime.
Or maybe he has. On the better missions, what tends to happen is the group will just repeat it over and over again. This must be because they'd had enough. Maybe it didn't have the drops they want, or they thought it was going to be a different one. But it's alright, it's all good. Let's check this thing.
Come back anytime.
This is the only pain, actually getting the games in these. It's
Only a short amount of time remains until our large-scale
starting off
operation
late.
ends. Our objective is complete, but try to suppress even more enemies.
Hey, we're in. Yeah, so once this event's over, what I'll do is I'll run you through a build I'm using at the moment. It's very possibly not the best build. I haven't even looked up guides or anything as such yet. I'll just run you through a few things that I find really helpful on a ranger build. If you like them, you're welcome to add them to yours. I think everyone's had a reset token recently actually. I haven't used one yet. But obviously if you've got yours all in places you don't actually enjoy it, then take them out, chuck them away, start again. Looks like you get, same as most games, whenever there's an update and such. Like I said, I tend to find that the Guts drink is the best one, just because it boosts your health. Because in this game, if you're going to get one shot, there's not too much you can do about it. I think there's a few things you can get that gives you like an invulnerable if you're lucky, like your
Only a
mag,
short
I
amount of
believe.
time remains until our large-scale
I've actually got that
operation
one
ends,
on,
our objective
but it
complete. Try to
is
suppress
a
even
random. I
more
don't believe
enemies.
it's every time. And also you've got your escape dolls and such, and then you've got to rely on other people. I prefer doing it so that you just usually take the hits and then put yourself back to near enough full health anyway. If you've got any questions or anything, you can chuck them in the chat. Or if this isn't live streaming anymore, chuck them in and I'll try and answer them. Like I said, if anyone's up for it, love to have you aboard. I'm a new gaming channel and going to be doing a lot of Xbox content. Definitely on Phantasy Star and also on a few other things. Don't like to limit myself to one. But this game definitely interests me. Been a fan since the Dreamcast days, you could say. Back when the internet used to just it's a lot different nowadays. If you notice then, basically I've just got hit straight in the face and nada. Just literally took off, what, 300, 500 maybe? And you just auto straight away. It is, I'm going to say a tiny bit of a lazy build, like you don't have to be as careful. I'm not trying to get hit, but if you do get tapped, most time you're not going to fall over. So what I'll do is I'll show you the weapon I'm using afterwards. The rifle I've got is not the best. It's okay, it's not the best, but I'll also run you through a few of the skills in the trees that I think is quite good. Dragon Ball move again. Can't go wrong with that. The only bad thing about that, once you launch it, you can't launch another one. So if you launch another one, it takes away from the first one. So you've got to make sure the first one hits. Cool, that was fun. I almost won them. Yeah, so you make sure the first one hits, and then you can launch another one straight away, or you can jump straight into something else. Yeah, they haven't made that as difficult as I thought.
Great work.
Completed.
Please head on back.
Sincester Illusion Astrocyte. Yeah, so the other one's called Astrocyte as well, so this is a different version of that. Maybe I've just been unlucky and this has been out the whole time, but I think it's part of an update. So it is a two-parter. It's very similar to the other one, and it's a two-parter. Let's buy some stuff just in case we're going to get caned. Okay, health back on. Yeah, these you don't really want to be too low on the old health bar in this game, especially on the higher settings. Anything under well, you can actually get, even at this health, you can get one shot, I believe. There's just not much that can one shot you. I think the highest I've seen so far is about 1300 damage. So this will be the big boy. I don't actually know any of the mechanics for this, like I said. So hopefully we don't look too ridiculously bad. I'd really love to have a nice assault rifle for this well. This move here, that one there, for single target damage, I think it's called satellite cannon or satellite beam. It's ridiculous. It can absolutely devastate things. The only thing you got to watch out for is the standing still. If you're in a good group though, it's really nice. Really, really nice.
Luther the Fallen has finally shown himself. Initiating teleportation to Dark Falls location momentarily. Once the battle begins,
Yeah, satellite cannon.
I will help you.
These are the skills I run. Divine launcher, stick normal on the right hand, pistol shot, Cosmo breaker, and then I have a flamethrower just in case you're in close and you want to go around. You want to go alien style and just let it rip like Ripley did. Ooh, I like this. Ooh. Right, I stand corrected. We're going to get our ass kicked. Alright, I'm not immune at the moment. That's a good start. So it doesn't look like there's any mechanics or anything yet. Definitely a big guy though, isn't he?
Piece of Ark's trash! Utterly repulsive! A variable beyond
So
my
much better damage.
grasp!
I was just about to say it's going well. Right, what's he gonna do?
Really quite troublesome.
What is this?
What an obvious solution! I need calculations no longer!
Moving on. So like I said, so that guy got one tap by the look at that. Climb up, nice.
Omniscience lies beyond
Oh, he hasn't got much,
beyond the
he hasn't got much help.
I am Luther the Fallen. I am one with the Akashic Records.
Okay, it looks like one of his things is he can pull certain people. So we're stuck in time. Well, the others have to break us out maybe? Or hit him. And there's a random jellyfish? No idea. Whoever made this encounter was definitely on some kind of acid. Some kind of crazy cocktail. What are they doing?
I need calculations no longer.
Not actually done too much yet. got a guy getting all up.
What an obvious solution. A variable beyond my grasp? Akashic records are mine!
Definitely got some kind of damage negation every once in a while though.
I am one with the Akashic records!
I think maybe I'm supposed to go to the sides on them. Kind of looks like if it's looking at you then it pulls each other. I have no idea what this bit is though. Like, are you supposed to randomly shoot them or just is it just
time to end this?
Visual animation?
What an obvious solution!
I just don't know why there's kind of crazy jellyfish. Looks good though.
You piece of Ark's trash! Piece of Ark's trash!
Taking that. I'm pretty sure I got the last shot there. That was straight to his noggin. Yeah, that's quite cool. Nowhere near as long as the one before. The Dark Luther battle, the one on the ship. That's a lot longer.
Congratulations on completing the objective.
Alright, what we got? Come on.
That's enough. Please
Completed!
Right, so you get a lot of this stuff. Not sure what we can spend that on yet. Oh god, you do get a lot of it, don't you? I used 100%, didn't I? That's what it was. Right. Nice and easy. What I'll do is I'll show you a couple of things on my build. Obviously you may well have a better build than me. By no means a master at this game yet. I'm not even hit max level yet, so I haven't been able to min-max or tinker with it at all. But I just find this build is just really easy to run through all the levels with, and I'd definitely recommend it, and that way you could kind of just save a reset token as such, and then after that, once you hit max level, muck around a bit, tinker with what you need to, and try and get as much DPS into it. But with this way, you really seldom die. It's kind of you've been one shot, or you're just not paying any attention whatsoever. But like I said, if you're trying to level up, your best bet is just over it. Go to this person, have a little look through, and if you see there they've got the daily boosts, try and grab as many of them as you can. I think you can get roughly 50% for a day.
Drop by any
and
time.
then you chuck on your booster packs. If you've got 100%, then definitely chuck that on. Do as many missions as you can. The advanced missions over here are really good for leveling up.
Which quest are you
As
up
long
for?
as you can handle them, that is. There's no point doing them if you're going to take ages on them. That's these ones, the advanced quests. But by far is definitely the urgent quests. Jump in with a good group, just run them over and over again, and especially if you're low level or you've just hit the level to achieve the cap. So say for example it's
Which quest are
50
you up for?
and I believe that's the highest one, so that'll be like up to 75 ads, so there'll be 75s with you and such as that, and you'll just be massacring everything and getting loads and loads of XP. But like I said, sorry, let me just leave the group 1 second. Oh, that's fine.
What would you like
so
to
what
do?
I tend to do, the Ranger gives you enough damage. You don't really need to worry too much. As soon as you start grinding your gear up, you get such an amount of damage because you're always able to hit everything. You've got such long range that you don't have to really worry about not being in the heat of battle.
What would you like to do?
Whereas I suppose with Hunter and such, sometimes you've kind of got to back away and move around a little bit. Maybe not so much with Hunter, just because they're actually really, really durable. But some of the other classes are quite easy to kill, shall we say. Right, so with Ranger, what I tend to go for. So just enough dexterity to get to the next one. Dexterity you don't really want to worry too much about, to be fair. It doesn't really help Rangers out too much as far as I'm aware. Then you'll go down, hit some advanced precision. If you can, get that at least to 5, because I think that's what leads on to the next one. And then what you want to do, especially if you're going for the big ones, for the grenade launchers, then go on to your stationary fire, and it will also help you with your rifle, with the last one. If you're going to be using the same kind of build, so say you're going to use that satellite cannon, the stationary fire will boost up the damage of that. So obviously that's not maxed out yet, but you can see that it'll definitely help it in the long run. And then also I put in stationary fire 2, which I will be boosting up as soon as I can. Like I said, I've still got 15 points to play around with when I'll be max level. If you can, once you've got a good assault rifle, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think blight rounds is probably the way to go. It makes it so that you start hitting them a lot harder. What you want to do though is make sure you've got more than one round. If you've just got one round, it's not going to do too much, to be fair. So you make sure you've got a few of them. And then the main thing you do, you can put on whatever build you really enjoy playing with here. Like for the moment, what have I chucked on? I've chucked on a gravity bomb for the moment, and just what it is, if you're playing with your assault rifle, you can kind of bunch everything up. So you chuck a gravity bomb in there and it will pull everything into the middle of it, and then you can smash it. But like I said, if you don't want to, you don't have to, because you can always switch over to your grenade launcher, and it does such good area effects that you don't really need to worry too much. You've got your blinding shot, your panic shot, and your gelin. I don't worry too much about them. You get enough damage through your gear, to be fair. With everything that's in the game at the moment, I honestly don't think, like, I don't want to be like sounding silly or anything, but at the moment, until they raise the level cap as such, you can kind of handle all the content quite easily. Like from level 55, the max level stuff wasn't too difficult, I find, at the moment. So I think, I'm not sure if they've made it a little bit easier than when it was in Japan, or if we've got a different loadout to what they had at the time, but definitely at the moment I would say you're not going to struggle too much if you just stick with a build that doesn't get killed. So make yourself durable enough to take the damage, and then once you buy the 13-star gear and start leveling it up, even if your build is not 100% perfect, you'll be fine, 100% fine. Yeah, so pretty much do a build that you really enjoy doing. I'd say range power up is the only one that you would definitely want, because if you're not using that, I don't know what you'll be using on a ranger. You're not going to be in the thick of things all the time. You will be doing distant stuff. Make sure you've got them two on. That's about the gist of it. The rest of it, chuck on whatever you like. Obviously down the bottom, you are going to want to be doing these. The PP stuff's good. The advanced stuff, the precision stuff is very good. And like I said, if it was me, I would make sure you had on the stationary fire 1 and 2 and boost them all the way up by the end game, just because a lot of the best moves, like that satellite cannon and some of the ones in the grenade launcher tree, will definitely help you with having that. That's only if that's how you like to play. If you like to play more versatile, then I think they've got this one over here, which is the mobile one. So that boosts your damage when performing a ranged attack while in motion. So you've got like a sliding move. That's a really good evasive move. I've got that one on. but you'll not be using it constantly over and over again. You're more likely using your other moves and then roll into that one. You'll probably want to try and spec a little bit into this because it reduces the PP consumption of Photonauts later on. But like I said at the start, while you're leveling, don't worry too much. I would say definitely your best thing you can do if you're a ranger, subclass, first one, hunter. Hunter all the way. First one you get is HP, which every class, HP is just a lifesaver, and that's what it's there for. You can go straight into HP2. Sorry. Obviously these ones you will not even need to look at. You, as a ranger, if you're putting all your points into melee power, then either you've got some crazy off-spec build, or you know something I don't know. I couldn't see you ever bothering with that. But what you do want to do is come down here, like I was saying. If you come down to this one, sorry, let me just find where it is. This is the main ones, right? So Flash Guard 1 and Flash Guard 2. So if I click on that, oh, sorry, I can't because I've maxed it out. Right, just down the bottom there, you'll see it decreases melee and range damage. And the reduction rate for that first one, because I've maxed it out, is 20%, but the activation rate is 100%. So that means you've got a flat 20% damage mitigation straight off. Like, there's no luck involved, it's just guaranteed. And then again, you've got the second one, and I'm sure they stack. I'm 100% sure they stack, otherwise there'd be no point in them. So that's, as far as I can tell, that's 40%. So you've got 40% damage mitigation. That's huge. But as well as that, if you come over to here, you've got an auto mate. If you have a look there, automatically uses a mate item when your HP falls below 50%. That's pretty tasty. And that's what I'm saying. What you want to do is just make sure that you have enough health to be able to actually take the initial hit. I think I haven't tested it out. I've literally just put this in there, and that's Hunter Physique. That says reduces damage and prevents you from being launched into the air. I've just this second put that on. I haven't tried out how it actually works in the build, but as long as it negates the damage without me having to put anything on, which I'm pretty sure it does, then that is definitely worth having as well. So pretty much the Hunter side of things just keeps you in the game. You can get a few things over here, like you can get crit, and I'm sure Fury Stance gives you a little bit of extra damage in range, not as much as it would with the melee, but a little bit. So once you've got yourself healthy enough and durable enough, you can up your damage with Hunter as well. And then endgame, if you really wanted to, you could change over and go inside like a spec for a gunner ranger or something along that, and you would be able to get a lot more damage. But I don't know if you'd be able to get in the fight as much. So for me, I will very possibly be staying with this build and just trying to min-max it as much as possible, because I think unless there's some big overhauls to the game, you can kind of take on everything in the game, like definitely at the moment, as it is, quite easily with this build. Like if you have a look up here, I haven't got all of the ones on, like that's got restores HP when the enemy dies within a fixed range. Obviously you've got your flash guards, Hunter Physique, and there's probably another couple in here. I haven't really looked at all of them because I just haven't needed them. Iron Will adds a chance of retaining 1 HP. So like I was saying earlier, I didn't even know that one was there. That one gives you a chance of not dying, so you wouldn't need to use a dole or anything. So Hunter is definitely, as far as I'm aware, the most durable class in the game, and paired with Ranger, especially where you're at a bit of range, and if you're like me, a lot of times you're either standing still waiting to do a massive attack, and it's possible you might take a hit. If you do, you want to be able to survive it. If you're not, you're kind of jumping in the air, doing a lot of moves and comboing up from there. So hopefully this will help you out a little bit. If it has, then if you'd like to become part of the community, love to have you aboard. If this hasn't helped at all, or if you've got a much better build, then let me know, because I would love to be able to spruce my one up a little bit, and it'd be good for me to know. But on that note, take care and catch you on the next day.